Welcome to Dive Deep Podcast, your go-to space for positivity, growth, and inspiration. I'm Dive Deep, and in every episode we'll dive into stories, insights, and tips to bring more joy and meaning into your life. So sit back, relax, and let's get started on this journey to happiness together.
All right, get ready to dive deep today. We're tackling a tactic that can really shift your whole perspective, reverse thinking. And we've got a super fascinating audio clip. It's in Chinese, but don't worry, we'll break it all down.
Yeah.
It's full of real-life examples of reverse thinking in action, so get ready for some serious aha moments.
Definitely. I think these examples really highlight how this approach, sometimes called contrarian thinking, can be used in all sorts of situations.
Oh, yeah, to get some pretty unexpected outcomes, right?
Exactly.
So instead of, tackling problems head-on,
Right.
we're kind of flipping the script. We're looking at things from the other side's point of view.
Yeah.
I'm already intrigued.
It's about understanding what the other person wants or what they fear, and then using that, to your advantage.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Let's jump into our first example from the source material.
Okay.
It's titled 2 Kills 3,
Okay.
and it involves a manager dealing with 3 subordinates
Okay.
who have teamed up to basically bully him.
Oh, wow. That's a classic power struggle right there.
Yeah.
What does he do? Call HR? Hire a bodyguard? What's
The move, much more clever than that.
Okay.
He uses reverse thinking. Instead of confronting them directly, he offers promotions.
Hold on. Wait, what? He's actually rewarding this bad behavior. I'm not following.
On the surface, yes, but look deeper. By introducing competition,
Okay.
he's turning their unity against them.
Oh, okay.
You see, these allies, they suddenly become rivals, right?
Right.
Vying for these limited rewards. Their focus shifts from, bullying the manager to outmaneuvering each other.
So he's basically using their own, strength as a weakness.
Exactly.
That's pretty strategic.
Yet it highlights a key takeaway for you listeners.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with a group, sometimes the most effective way to approach it is to create internal division,
Okay.
rather than confronting the group as a whole.
Divide and conquer, a classic tactic.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see how powerful this reverse thinking can be. What's next?
All right, our next example is called malfunction repair,
Okay.
and it centers around an ATM mishap.
Oh.
Imagine this. You deposit a large sum of money late at night.
Okay.
The machine malfunctions.
Oh, no.
Your card gets eaten,
Oh, this is bad.
and your money disappears.
Ugh, that's everyone's worst nightmare.
Right.
Especially late at night. So what does this person do?
They try calling the bank, but they're told to wait until morning.
Oh, man.
Not satisfied, they use reverse thinking and they call back.
Okay.
This time, claiming that the ATM gave them an extra money.
Wait, so they lied. Is that really ethical?
Well, it's a fictional example, of course, and in real life, you always want to be truthful.
Right. Of course, yeah.
But for the sake of this scenario, let's think about the psychology.
Yeah, it's okay.
The bank, fearing a loss, immediately sends a repair crew to investigate.
Wow. So by shifting the focus to the bank's potential loss,
Yeah.
they triggered immediate action. That's really clever.
It is, and this illustrates another takeaway for you. Sometimes reframing a problem to highlight the other side's potential loss, that can be a powerful motivator.
Oh, okay. Interesting. It's all about understanding what levers to pull, right?
Exactly.
Okay. I'm hooked. Give me another example.
All right, this next one is called the late husband's curfew.
Okay.
It involves a wife who is trying to get her husband to come home earlier.
Oh, I can already relate to this one. Curfews, they can be tricky.
Yeah, so her initial approach is locking him out if he's late.
Okay.
Works for a while, but eventually he just starts staying out all night. Frustrated, she decides to try reverse psychology.
Reverse psychology. Okay, tell me everything.
So instead of locking the door after the curfew,
Yeah.
she leaves it wide open. And not only that,
Oh, boy.
she subtly implies she's not alone.
Whoa, that's taking reverse psychology to a whole new level. I'm a little nervous to hear what happens next.
The husband, fearing he'll walk in on something he doesn't want to see,
Right.
starts coming home early every night.
Oh, wow.
The fear of what might be happening is more powerful than the certainty of being locked out.
That's some high-stakes reverse psychology. And while I'm not sure I'd recommend this exact tactic to our listeners,
Yeah,
it definitely shows how powerful it can be to play on someone's fears and insecurities.
right. This example, while a bit extreme, shows how powerful emotions can be in influencing behavior. And remember, we're just exploring these examples as illustrations of the core concept.
Right?
It's up to each individual to decide how they might apply these ideas ethically.
Yeah. Good point. Let's move on to something a little less intense. What's next?
Okay, the next example, crowdsourced car rescue. This one shows how resourceful reverse thinking can be. Picture this. You're stuck in a ditch,
Uh-oh.
and the tow truck quotes an outrageous price.
I I hate when that happens. It feels so predatory.
Right.
So what does this person do? Haggle with the tow truck driver.
Not quite. This driver gets creative.
Okay.
Instead of focusing on getting towed, he focuses on gathering manpower. He orders 10 food deliveries to his exact location.
10 food deliveries to a ditch. Okay, I'm lost. Explain it to me like I'm 5.
Okay, sure. When the delivery drivers arrive, he offers them a small fee
Okay.
and a free meal to help push his car out of the ditch.
I see. He's turning his, predicament into an opportunity for community assistance,
Yeah,
fueled by food, of course.
precisely. Instead of relying on an expensive service, he leverages the availability of people already in the area.
Yeah.
And this example highlights how sometimes looking beyond that obvious problem and finding creative solutions within your environment, within your immediate environment, can be incredibly effective.
It's like that old saying, necessity is the mother of invention.
Right?
And in this case, hunger was the father of community.
Exactly. This example is a great reminder that sometimes the most unconventional solutions can be the most effective, especially when you factor in the power of community and a shared meal.
Yeah,
Ready for another one?
absolutely. These examples are getting more and more creative. I can't wait to see what's next.
Okay, this one's called the clever supermarket text,
Okay.
and it involves a stolen phone.
Oh, no.
Imagine you're in a crowded supermarket, you realize your phone is gone, and panic sets in.
Yeah,
Been there. It's a horrible feeling.
it is. So what does this person do? Check Find My iPhone.
Well, they do report it to the supermarket staff.
Okay.
But instead of just reviewing security footage,
Yeah.
the staff comes up with a plan
Okay.
that uses reverse thinking.
Ooh, this sounds intriguing. Spill the tea.
They get the woman's phone number
Okay.
and send a text message to the stolen phone, pretending to be an accomplice of the thief.
They're going undercover. Okay, I need more details. What does the text say?
Okay, the text mentions a cash drop-off.
At a specific location in the supermarket. Okay. And it includes a secret code the thief needs to use to identify the drop, playing right into the thief's expectations.
So they're essentially creating a trap,
Yes.
using the thief's own greed as bait. That's so smart.
Right. The staff recognized that the thief was motivated by the potential for a quick, easy profit, and they used that to their advantage. Yeah. And guess what?
What?
The thief falls right into the trap, lured by the promise of easy money, gets caught.
Exactly. Talk about turning the tables.
Oh, yeah. That's such a satisfying outcome. What a great example of using reverse thinking to outsmart someone with bad intentions.
Right.
What's our final example for this part?
Okay, our last example is the chicken for fish swap.
Okay.
It centers on a struggling fish farm owner.
Okay, a struggling fish farm. This sounds like a recipe for disaster. What kind of reverse thinking magic does he pull off?
He puts up a sign that reads, "Fish farm grand opening, fishing fee, 100 won. For those who don't catch a fish, we will give you a free chicken and 5 eggs."
Wait, hold on. He's guaranteeing everyone wins, even if they fail at the main activity?
Yes.
So you're telling me you can go fishing, not catch anything, and still walk away with free food?
Exactly.
What?
This seemingly risky strategy is actually a brilliant use of reverse thinking.
Okay.
Instead of focusing on selling fish, he's focusing on ensuring customer satisfaction by offering an alternative reward.
So it's not really a fish farm at all, is it?
You're catching on.
Okay.
It turns out the owner is primarily a chicken farmer.
Oh.
He uses the fish pond as a clever way to attract customers and guarantee they leave happy even if they don't catch any fish. He's essentially reframed failure as a guarantees win.
Mind blown. This guy's playing 4D chess while everyone else is playing checkers.
Right.
He's turned a potential negative, not catching a fish, into a positive, getting free chicken and eggs.
Exactly. This example emphasizes a crucial aspect of reverse thinking. It's not about tricking people. It's about understanding their motivations and desires, and then creating a situation where everyone benefits, even if it looks unconventional.
That's incredible. All right, I think we need a moment to process all this reverse thinking brilliance. We've covered some seriously clever tactics.
We have, but before we wrap up this part, it's important to remember that that reverse thinking is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
Yeah.
These examples are simply illustrations of the core concept.
You're absolutely right. It's all about using this knowledge responsibly and ethically.
Yeah.
And remember, these are just a few examples. There are countless ways to apply reverse thinking in your own life, from personal relationships to business negotiation.
Exactly. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll be exploring how to cultivate a reverse thinking mindset
Oh, okay.
and discover even more ways that you can use this powerful tool to navigate the complexities of life.
Sounds good. Can't wait to unpack even more reverse thinking goodness in part 2. Welcome back. I don't know about you, but I'm still reeling from those examples.
Yeah.
It's like my brain has been doing mental gymnastics. In a good way.
Yeah. It is fascinating how reverse thinking challenges our kind of ingrained thought patterns.
Right.
We're so used to like approaching things head on, but this concept encourages us to like step back
Yeah.
and consider a totally different angle.
It's like looking at those optical illusion pictures.
Yeah.
Suddenly a whole new image emerges when you shift your focus.
Exactly.
And the best part is, these reverse thinking solutions, they often seem so simple, almost effortless,
Exactly. There's an elegance to them, a simplicity that masks their effectiveness. But it's important to note that this isn't about manipulation or trickery.
Right.
It's about understanding human psychology, motivations, and using that knowledge to navigate challenging situations more effectively.
So it's less about outsmarting someone and more about finding a solution that benefits, like, everyone involved.
Ideally, yes. Reverse thinking can be a powerful tool for conflict resolution, negotiation, even everyday problem solving.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like adding a new tool to your mental toolbox.
Yeah.
But how do we actually start, like, using this tool in real life? Do we need to walk around constantly trying to think in reverse?
Not necessarily. Think of it as a kind of a mental framework,
Okay.
a different lens through which you can view challenges. A simple exercise you can try is this. Next time you face a problem, big or small, before you jump to solutions, pause, ask yourself, what would happen if I approached this from the opposite direction?
Okay.
What does the other side want or fear?
That's a great tip. It's like hitting the rewind button
Yeah.
and playing the scenario out in a completely different way.
Exactly. And you might be surprised by the solutions that emerge. Reverse thinking isn't about being right or wrong.
Right.
It's about expanding your options and finding the most effective path forward, even if it's unexpected.
Speaking of unexpected, I've got a question about the concept itself.
Yeah.
All these examples seem to come from, like, modern day scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
But is a reverse thinking a new idea? Does it have historical roots?
That's a great question. While the term reverse thinking might be relatively recent, the underlying principle has been around for centuries. Military strategists, philosophers, even like clever folk tales, they all incorporate elements of this contrarian approach.
So it's like a universal human instinct,
Mm-hmm.
this ability to see things from multiple perspectives.
Absolutely. It's part of what makes us adaptable, resourceful, able to solve problems creatively.
I dare to think everyone has a little reverse thinker inside them just waiting to be unlocked.
I think so too.
But what about those times when this kind of thinking doesn't seem to work?
Yeah.
Are there situations where it's not the best approach?
Of course, like any tool, reverse thinking has its limitations. It's not a magic solution for every problem, and it's crucial to always consider the ethical implications of your actions.
Right. It's about using this power responsibly. It's like that saying, with great power comes great responsibility, even in the realm of reverse thinking.
Precisely. It's important to be mindful of your intentions and the potential impact of your actions. But when used ethically and wisely, reverse thinking can be a powerful force for positive change.
So how can our listeners start integrating reverse thinking into their own lives? Any practical tips?
First and foremost, cultivate curiosity. Be open to different perspectives, even those that initially seem, counterintuitive.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to question your assumptions. Challenge the status quo.
It's like that famous quote, the important thing is not to stop questioning.
Exactly. Curiosity is the fuel for innovation and creative problem solving.
So embrace the why and don't be afraid to flip things on their head. What else?
Practice empathy. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. What are their needs, fears, motivations? Understanding their perspective can unlock unexpected solutions.
It's like that saying, before you judge a man, walk a mile in his shoes.
Yes, understanding breeds compassion, and compassion often leads to more creative and effective solutions.
So curiosity and empathy, two essential ingredients for successful reverse thinking.
Yes.
What else can we add to our mental recipe?
Don't be afraid to experiment. Reverse thinking is a skill that develops with practice. Start with small, everyday situations where you can try flipping the script. See what happens.
It's like exercising a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Right.
And don't be discouraged if your first few attempts don't result in, like, immediate breakthroughs.
Exactly. It's a process. And sometimes our mistakes teach us the most valuable lessons. Embrace the learning curve and keep refining your approach.
So to recap, our three key ingredients for successful reverse thinking are cultivate curiosity, practice empathy, and don't be afraid to experiment.
Yes. And remember, reverse thinking isn't about finding the right answer. It's about expanding your options, finding the most effective solution for the specific situation you're facing.
It's like having a mental toolkit filled with different, like, problem-solving tools. Reverse thinking is one of those powerful tools that can help us navigate the complexities of life.
Absolutely. It's about empowering yourself to approach challenges with a fresh perspective and find solutions that might have otherwise remained hidden.
So it's time for our listeners to put on their reverse thinking caps
Yes.
and see the world in a whole new light.
Exactly. And who knows? You might just surprise yourself with the ingenious solutions you uncover.
Well, that brings us to the end of part 2 of our deep dive into reverse thinking. We've explored the core concept, dissected some fascinating examples, and even shared practical tips for, putting this mental superpower into practice.
But we're not done yet.
Oh.
In our final part, we'll delve into even more intriguing aspects of reverse thinking and explore its potential to transform not just our individual lives, but also the world around us.
Stay tuned for part 3. Welcome back to the deep dive. I'm feeling energized after all that reverse thinking talk. It's like a mental workout.
It is quite invigorating, isn't it? And you know what's really interesting is that reverse thinking isn't just a problem-solving tool.
Right.
It's also a powerful way to foster, innovation and creativity.
Oh, now that you mention it, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're always approaching things from the expected angle,
Right.
you're probably less likely to stumble upon those truly groundbreaking ideas.
Precisely. Think about some of the most successful companies and entrepreneurs. They often got their start by challenging conventional wisdom, finding new ways to do things.
It's like that famous Henry Ford quote, "If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses."
Right.
He completely reimagined transportation.
He did.
Yeah.
He didn't just try to improve existing carriages.
Right.
He envisioned a whole new mode of transport.
Yeah.
That's the power of reverse thinking. It helps us break free from those limitations of our current thinking and opens up a world of possibilities.
It's like switching from a narrow zoom lens to a wide-angle lens.
Yeah.
Suddenly you can see the whole picture and all the potential connections.
Exactly.
How can we apply this to our own lives? How do we cultivate that kind of innovative thinking?
One key is to embrace discomfort.
Okay.
Reverse thinking often pushes us outside of our comfort zones.
Right.
It forces us to question our assumptions, embrace new perspective.
I've heard that before. Growth happens outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So we need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Exactly. Embrace the challenge,
Okay.
the uncertainty, even the possibility of being wrong. That's where true breakthroughs often occur.
It's like a mental adventure. Instead of sticking to the familiar path,
Right.
we're venturing into uncharted territory, ready to discover something new.
Yeah.
What else can we do to boost our reverse thinking abilities?
Practice active listening. Truly listening to others, even those with opposing viewpoints,
Okay.
can help us see things from different angles and identify opportunities we might have otherwise missed.
It's like stepping outside our own echo chambers and being open to new ideas,
Yeah.
new perspectives.
Exactly.
The more diverse our input, the richer our output.
Precisely. Diversity of thought is crucial for innovation. Surround yourself with people who challenge your thinking, who see the world differently than you do.
Embrace discomfort.
Yes.
Practice active listening.
Yeah.
Surround ourselves with diverse perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
That's a powerful combination.
It is.
But let's be real. Reverse thinking isn't always easy.
Right.
Sometimes it can feel like we're going against the grain.
That's true. It takes courage to challenge conventional wisdom, to question the status quo, to be the one who sees things differently.
Not to mention the naysayers, right?
Yeah.
There will always be people who resist new ideas, who prefer to stick with what's familiar.
Absolutely. But that's where resilience comes in. Believe in your ideas even when others doubt them. Remember, some of the greatest breakthroughs in history were initially met with skepticism and resistance.
Like the Wright brothers trying to convince people that humans could fly.
Exactly.
It seemed impossible at the time.
Right. We need to be bold, brave, and persistent in our pursuit of innovative solutions. Remember, the best way to predict the future is to create it.
So reverse thinking isn't just about personal innovation.
Right.
It's also about creating positive change in the world around us.
Yeah.
How can we use this to make a difference on a larger scale?
Consider some of the biggest challenges facing our society today, such as climate change, social injustice, or global poverty.
Yeah.
Often the solutions proposed are just variations of what's been done before.
It's like trying to solve a 21st century problem with 20th century thinking.
Yeah.
We need a fresh approach.
Exactly. Reverse thinking challenges us to question those existing frameworks and imagine entirely new solutions.
So instead of just trying to tweak the existing system,
Mm-hmm.
we need to be willing to rethink the system itself.
Precisely. What if, instead of just reducing carbon emissions, we found ways to completely reverse the effects of climate change? What if, instead of just alleviating poverty, we created a world where poverty no longer existed?
Those are bold questions. It's like shifting from damage control to radical transformation.
It is, and that's where reverse thinking can be truly revolutionary. It empowers us to imagine a better future and then work backward to figure out how to create it.
It's like we're writing the story of our future,
Yeah.
not just reacting to the present.
Right.
That's an inspiring thought.
Yeah.
But it also feels a bit daunting.
Yeah.
Where do we even begin?
Start by asking the right questions.
Okay.
What are the underlying assumptions driving these problems? What are the unintended consequences of our current solutions? Who benefits from the status quo and who suffers?
It's like we're peeling back the layers of complexity
Yeah.
to reveal the root causes.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, the solutions might become clearer.
Exactly. And once we understand those root causes, we can start to imagine truly innovative solutions.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
Yeah, it has.
We've learned that reverse thinking can be a powerful tool for personal growth, innovation, and even social change.
Yeah.
It's about challenging assumptions,
Yes.
embracing new perspectives,
Right.
and finding creative solutions to even the most complex problems.
It has been quite a journey.
What has?
So remember, the most important thing is to keep asking questions,
Yeah.
keep experimenting, and never stop believing in the power of your own imagination.
Because sometimes the best solutions are the ones we least expect, right? The ones that come from turning our thinking upside down.
Yeah.
It's seeing the world in a whole new light.
That's the beauty of reverse thinking.
Yeah.
It opens up a world of possibilities, and it empowers us to create a better future. One unexpected solution at a time.
So what are you waiting for?
Right.
Go out there, embrace the power of reverse thinking, and start changing your world.
Yeah.
Maybe even the world.
And remember, the most important question is not what is the answer, but what if?
That's it for our deep dive into reverse thinking. We hope you enjoyed the journey and are feeling inspired to put this mental superpower into practice in your own life.
Yeah, we hope so.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the deep dive.
That's a wrap for today's episode. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Happiness Hub. Your support helps us spread more positivity and inspiration to others. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay happy and keep shining.